Basunkan from the Netherlands. I am a designer and I'm here in Eco Hotel and Suits. Keep watching VOP, the voice of the people. Don't touch that dial.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on Vop Tv. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
From the bustling streets of Lagos to the quiet corners of rented apartments, the relationship between landlords and tenants has always been a delicate balance. But that could soon change. I'm Maureen Ogolo, reporting from the Lagos State House of Assembly, where today's public hearing could reshape how rent, eviction, and property rights are handled in the state. It was landlord versus tenant inside the Lagos House of Assembly today.
But landlord should give tenant at least 5 years before any increment of apartment fee. Government is to provide housing for all. Unfortunately, when government build houses, people now buy these houses, invest in them. Some buy 2, 3, 4 flats, now sell. And government is concerned about high rents. You cannot control rents outside. I will want a situation where when you build houses, Honorable Commissioner for Housing, ensure that people do not sell them and people who are going to live in there are owner-occupier. But when they do now want to rent, control the rent in your own houses before controlling those people outside.
There are several areas in which the House of Assembly has looked into that they deem as fitting. However, it is not commendable in the fact that they did not make use of the legal and the enacted professionals who should guide them.
The purpose of public hearing is for professional bodies to come around and guide us and tell us and the public to come and tell us what we need to know and what you want. Laws are made for the people, and that is the purpose of the public hearing.
As the Tenancy and Recovery Premises Bill 2025 came under public scrutiny, the one-day hearing at the Latif Jakonde Auditorium in Elausa brought together landlords, tenants, legal experts, property developers, and house advocates.
So we are here to support the bill, but we have concerns. And our lens, the lens at which we are looking at this is the social justice lens. As an NGO, we are concerned about some social justice issues, and the first one is discrimination. We have noted a concerning trend in Lagos where houses are reserved for certain category of persons. The vacancy that is advertised, you will see that it's usually said that the houses are not for single persons, single women, single mothers, not for Igbos, only for Igbos, not for Yorubas, only for Yorubas. We think this is concerning. Firstly, the Constitution, Section 42, outlaws that kind of behavior. It calls it discriminatory. It outlaws it. So to allow that to persist is not good for the sector. So we are recommending that the bill should take on this particular challenge and include a provision in the bill where anybody who discriminates by virtue of sex, religion, or where they come from, or economic status should be penalized by the bill.
The memorandum has been submitted, the public hearing has been held, and of course, we had a lot of contributions from the public. We will go back, look into the bill properly, get their memoranda, check them properly, and sieve and add and subtract what are necessary to be in the bill for it to become a law.
As debates wrap up inside House of Assembly, the one thing is clear: the bill could change the face of renting in Lagos, for better or for worse. For tenants, is a hope of stronger protection. For landlords, is a call for clearer rights. But until the final law is passed, the tug of war over rent and eviction continues. From Alausa, I am Maureen Okolo, reporting for Vop TV.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here's to Vop TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching Vop TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is Vop TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on Vop TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dili Utomi, and this is the Maritime Frontier Show. Recently, the traffic gridlock along the Apapa and Tinkan corridors of the Nigerian ports have started showing face again, and observers are concerned that the gridlock, the terrible experiences that we have had over the past 5 to 10 years, is creeping back into reality again. And we wonder what has happened. Different factors have been given for the upsurge in traffic accumulation along the corridors. Although these are topic for another day, but today we are going to take a look at the place of maritime truckers within in the modern economy, within the maritime sector. And to discuss that with me today is Mr. Kevin Nedu Okechukwu. He is leader of the Kirikiri Lighter Terminal section of the maritime truckers, and of course is a very big player in the industry. Mr. Okechukwu, you're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, viewers.
Yeah. So please tell us, what do you think that the place of the maritime truckers is in the modern economy, knowing fully that you are having competition, the badges are coming up, people, they are talking about rail transportation and other means of evacuation of cargoes out and in of the ports. Right. Tell us, sir.
Mr. Dele, like I said before, we are the movers of the economy. We have competition, but I don't really see all those people as competition. The badges are there. I'm also a badge player. The rail are there. But you can always believe with me that with the badge and rail, you still need truck to complete the movement. The badge will not take your container or your cargo to the warehouse. A truck must be involved. So our importance is not in contention. And the competition with other sectors is not severe. It's just, they are just trying to help the free flow of goods. So I don't see them as competition. I see them as helpers.
Okay, so what you are trying to say in essence is that it helps what they call multimodalism, different means of evacuation of cargoes.
Yeah,
is that what you're trying to say?
That's exactly what it is. It helps in traffic control. You know, the port corridor is very narrow, so they needed other modalities to help remedy the congestions, like the rail and the badges. But at the end of the day, you still need the truck to complete the movement.
Okay. Recently, there's been, like I started with the introduction I made, there's been an accumulation of truck along the corridor again. What are the real reasons why these are coming up again?
I don't see much accumulation of truck along the road, but the real reason is misalignment. If you look attentively, some terminals are congested while some terminals are virtually empty. Go to Tinkan corridor, you don't see much activities going on there. Go to Apapa, a lot of things are happening, a little congestion, some congestions in Apapa. Go to Lekki, there's no congestion there. So I still believe that some importers or agents, or I don't know, a lot of people are putting too much pressure on Apapa at the detriment of other ports. So if they align it well, there won't be any problem any longer, because the import has dropped drastically. The roads are good, so I don't see the reason why there should be congestion anywhere. Whereas some ports are virtually empty, doing nothing in the same Lagos.
But conversely, yes, you made a valid point. The imports are dropping, but conversely, exports are increasing. I mean, could that be a factor?
Yes, the export increase, but you all believe with me that export is seasonal in Nigeria. Most of the things we export in Nigeria is agricultural products. So this is export season, February, March. The export will dry up, and everything will be normal again.
Yeah.
So it's just like we're in season. That's why we see the little congestion on the road.
Okay. You know, talking about the vital areas of your operation, traffic control, as occasioned by being taken care of by the Nigerian Ports Authority through the TTP agreement. You know, what is the effect of that agreement on your business, sir?
To me and most truckers,
we're talking about the ETO platform.
To me and most truckers, the ETO platform just increased our burden. It just makes us to spend more than what we are spending, what we should have spent going through the ports. To me, without ETO platform, we still move. There's nothing. The ETO platform was necessary during that congestion time, during that 2021 time when the road was so bad. They needed the ETO platform to control the road so that people can move. But now the roads are perfect. Import has dropped. Some terminals, some ports are virtually empty. So there's no need for ETO platform now. There's no need for all this traffic control. If not that government is making money out of it and government officials are cashing in. That one's cashing in now. It's not necessary for now.
But some people would argue that despite all these things that you've said, that the ETO platform is still needed, though that people should not be charged for accessing the facilities that that's the pre-gates and the gates, the arrangements, that people should not pay. How much do you pay now, and what do you think about the payment that you make?
Officially, we pay around 20 to 25,000, depending. If you're empty, if you are going on flatbed, you pay around 25,000. If you are carrying empty container, you pay around 20,000. If you're on export, officially it's around 40,000. But at the end of the day, you pay
per truck.
Yes. So
and per access.
Per access now. Once you go one, it has expired now. Next time you are coming, you still pay money. But even the major problem of ETO is that it has been hijacked now. Some people make so much money out of it. All this official money we are paying is not even the real deal. The real deal is that sometimes you pay times two now what you're supposed to have paid.
How so, sir?
Because there's a lot of bottleneck. They will make it difficult for you now so that you will pay higher. If you pay the official this thing, you will waste so much time. People that want to pay the higher money will move, and you'll be still there waiting for the official one to come out. You know how things run in Nigeria now.
You are saying that there's racketeering within the system.
That's the word, now, racketeering. Yes, now. In anything in Nigeria, there must be racketeering. So that's why some of us transporters, the new transporters, are clamoring that ETO should be scrapped because it has been hijacked. That's the truth. A lot of racketeering. We spend so much money to access the port.
And what step have you taken, sir, to sort of address this issue?
We have been complaining now. We have been writing now. We've been taking the TTP and the MPA to court. Some section of Maritime Truckers Union took them to court. The matter is still in court, in High Court at Ikoyi. Still going on. So people are not happy, but some other people will tell you they are happy, they like it because they're benefiting. Any person that tells you that they are happy, they are benefiting.
In every situation, someone benefits.
Those people that are benefiting will like it. They will tell you the good things are the good part of it, but they will not tell you the real deal in it.
Okay. What about, of course, the Nigerian Ports Authorities like regulator because they are the landlords at the ports, and they are supposed to take care of issue of traffic within the port areas, within the port corridors. But also, there's also an economic regulator within the system, the Nigerian Shippers Council. Do you talk to them about some of these things?
Yeah, some of our people have complained to them. And you know, the Shippers Council we are talking about is a government functionary. They cannot work against the government that employed them. So
yes, but the government is there primarily for the welfare and the good of the people. And they should listen to the cries of the people before formulating policies and then, carrying them out. So if you people, don't you people react by way of organizing yourself to write letters and maybe go to visit them and talk to them about some of these problems that you've highlighted?
We've written to Nigerian Shippers Council. We've gone to them. There's not much they can do now. They are government agencies. MPA is a government agency. They're under Blue Economy, Minister of Blue Economy. There's not much they can do now.
I beg to differ, sir. There's a whole lot they can do.
On ETO, or on TTP,
on everything.
On the racketeering.
You can talk about the whole system. You just talked about the fact that ETO, which a lot of people say, okay, it should be put in place, but it should be free. To access it should be free. And then, again, the amount to be paid now, which was imposed on you guys, you are telling us that there's a whole lot of racketeering there, that rather than pay the 25,000 naira that you're supposed to pay officially, they make it difficult for you to pay that or double that. So, and there are government agencies, or there's a government agency which is supposed to take care of your business or people in your type of business. Why don't you reach out to them to, make them do their job?
Okay, we'll reach out to them, but they will always tell you to confront with evidence.
Evidence.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to pick evidence in all this kind of thing. The people that are racketeering, some of them are government officials, some of them are non-state actors. A lot of people are in the field. So how do you get the evidence? And if you are getting the evidence, you are sticking out your neck.
But
for
your businesses are here, state.
Is it my business alone? We have millions of people doing the business. So how will it be Kevin Okechukwu that will stick out his neck?
You are a leader of a section of this business.
I'm a leader of a section, but there's little I can do. I cannot go and sacrifice myself for public good. Something that the best thing we can do is to go to court and challenge them. That the best thing, if they want to do, is to scrap ETO and the TTP so that we'll go the way we are going before. We have been in this industry for donkey years before TTP came in. TTP came in when it came, and at that time it was necessary. The roads were so bad, things were not moving, and it helps to solve the problem that time. But none is not needed. So the government should scrap it. They should not be creating rooms for people to exploit others. Should not be creating room for hooligans to exploit people, government officials to exploit genuine business people that are paying tax. The tax we pay to these non-state actors is 10 times more than what we pay to government. So why would they allow people to be exploited? People that are doing genuine business, they are extorted every day, making things difficult for us. Okay, now look at the Lekki corridor now. They instituted the TTP there. Is there any this thing there also? Is there any traffic in Lekki corridor?
Of course not. Right now, there's no traffic at the Lekki corridor.
Go to Tinkan now. Is there any traffic in Tinkan? There's no traffic anymore. Even in Krikri, they want to bring it to in Krikri. Is there any traffic in Krikri again? All these things are just a way of making money for some people. It's not. It does not solve traffic problem, and it will not solve traffic problem. Traffic problem comes when you are in season. Out of season, it goes. And we in the industry, we know how to manage it without ETO and without TTP, without exploitation and extortion.
Okay. No, a lot of people also complain that sometimes some of your drivers are unruly, they are untrained, they are uncouth. Is there any mechanism for training some of these people in terms of maybe obeying the traffic laws, in terms of how they relate with people on the road, in terms of generally allowing the other users of the road to use the roads too, because sometimes they block the way. Let's put it at that.
Yeah. I will not dispute that. So drivers are unruly. Some of them are high in drugs. They are. But we as a union will be trying as much as possible to call them together and educate them. We also try to tell government to help us also in the area of these drug detections, drug tests, because once a driver is high on drug, he will not be normal human being again. He will be misbehaving. When they take alcohol on steering, all those things, that's where government have to come in to help us. And also in the issue of training, yeah, you don't expect somebody that have one truck or two truck to go and start organizing training for one driver or two driver. But big companies,
It can be a group thing. Maybe your own association with our other associations, they come together, bring pull out resources, and then train the drivers.
Well, it's a good idea. It's a good suggestion. We'll try to work around it, but I know that it's not going to be easy because some drivers and some owners will not want to put their driver out of work for a whole day, 1 day or 2 days or 3 days for him to go to training. Some individuals might not want to do that.
Are you saying that they work round the clock, every day, 7 days of the week, and 30 days of the year?
The day my truck will be working will not be the day your own will be working. Okay. That's the truth. Some will be working while others are maintenance. Some other people don't have work. So there's no day, one specific day where we say that every truck will not be on the road. Even on Sunday, even on Saturday, even on Christmas Day, some trucks will be on the road.
But that's so one particular day that you commit to training drivers could mean you saving millions or earning millions into your pockets. I mean, we all know that knowledge helps in advancing you in every way, economically, socially, and in every consideration. Once they are open to these trainings, they will behave well and they will know how to go about their businesses in a more profitable manner. So I don't you think it's a good thing to do?
Yeah, I believe it's a good thing to do. We are thinking towards that, but I will still tell you that it's not easy, the financial implication, but the most is bringing the drivers out to come for training because them normally they don't even value the training because most of them are not educated. They don't know the importance of training. So pulling them out for training will be somehow naughty. Okay. We, the owners, know that the training aspect is a good one.
Okay.
But to make the drivers to succumb to training is the aspect I know that will be difficult for us to achieve.
You mentioned about the issue of drugs. Of course, everybody knows that it's a very big menace within the society. Have you tried to work with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in terms of, because I know that they have a program of educating people, going to parks, going to schools, all those places to educate people about the effects and dangers of drugs.
They have never come to our union, but we, as a union, I don't think we have gone to them also.
Okay.
I will accept that mistake. We've not gone to them. But they should know that we truck owners have problem of, in fact, every transport sector have problem of drug. That's the major problem we have in transport. Some of the accidents you see on the road is caused by drug abuse.
Yeah. Even the NDLA says that their statistics show that most of the accidents are drug related. Yeah.
I want to believe that. So the NDLA is supposed to be working closer to the unions so that we see how to bring the drivers together and train them and they test them for drugs. Some of them, I know how many drivers have lost to drug. Some of them, they will take drug to the extent of going mad or half crazy. You know that this one is no longer, you can't drive again. As an owner, you yourself will now have to step him down.
Okay. We need to talk about this because overall, these are the things that add value to what you do. Taking care of some of these problems that we're talking about, and it helps to add value and then maybe grow the business. Now, talking about the truck business, particularly going back to its, what can you estimate the value of the truck business within the sector as we speak, and its impact on the local maritime economy and probably in the country? Would you be able to put some figures on it?
Dylan, I'm coming to that, but let me take you back a bit.
Okay.
Lagos State government, in conjunction with Lagos State Ministry of Transport, they organized an eye test for drivers.
Okay.
In some locations. That was last week. Just few drivers came. Free eye tests. And they even volunteered to give them free glasses.
Free glasses?
Very few came.
Oh.
Very few. So that's why when we talk about what is it called, training and all those things, they're important, but the drivers are not showing interest in it.
Oh.
So that is a bygone. On the aspect of the size of maritime
truck
business, it's huge, but I can't put figure on it. But I know it's a huge business because I know the TTP we talk about, the last time we checked, the money they've made since 4 or 5 years ago, they started, runs into 30, 40 billion. If TTP can be making that kind of billion, then check what...
That's one tiny company that does next to nothing, according to what you people say.
Yeah, does Eto and what do they call it again?
It's a software platform that
just a platform. They're making 30, 40 billion under this short time of business. So when you talk of maritime transport business alone, I mean, it's a very huge business. It's a very big contributor to the GDP of Nigeria.
Yeah. I saw an estimate of about probably going to around 40,000 trucks or there, 40,000 or so, thereabout within the country. And we know that, of course, like experts say that half of the vehicles, whether trucks, whether cars, whether heavy-duty equipment that's operated in Nigeria are found in Lagos. So we can, from that, we can say that maybe about 20,000 trucks are out there. And how would you estimate their impact in terms of the money they generate, either for yourselves and then the government, and then what can be done to improve the business?
Haulage business is a very big contributor to Nigerian economy.
You guys call yourself the movers of the economy.
There's no doubt about that. Without haulage business, the business and the industry will just get grounded. Nothing will move again. Nothing will happen. So it's a big business. And again, most haulage companies, most trucks you see, one way or the other, enter Lagos. Because even if they are domiciled in other states or even in other parts of the country, they have one business or the other to come to Lagos to do it. So it's big on part of Lagos. And also, that's more reason why Lagos people see truckers as one of the contributors of traffic problem in Lagos. Because it's not only we that are domiciled in Lagos that operate in Lagos. In fact, most of the trucks that operate in Lagos are not domiciled in Lagos. Majority of them come from other part of the country. So it's really huge. And I thank Lagos State now that they are trying to make their roads stronger by building concrete roads all around the maritime corridor, because the volume of trucks coming into Lagos is much. And all these trucks, most of the times we carry overweight. Yeah, we carry over tonnage. So without these concrete roads that are coming now, no matter how we do it, the weight of the trucks contribute to the damage of the roads. So Lagos State government is trying, federal government is trying on road infrastructures. And we are trying also.
So you cannot put a figure on what is being generated, either on your own side as operators or what you pay to the government, because that's critical for one government knowing whether the people are really contributing or you are taking too much from the economy.
If they think that we are not contributing, let them stop us from working for 1 week and they see whether we are contributing or not. They cannot let them just grant the whole truck. No truck should enter Lagos. No truck should move in Lagos for 1 week. Let's see whether we are contributing or not. You see, let me tell you the truth. Because maritime or haulage business is not that organized, does not mean that it doesn't contribute. In fact, I will tell you that it is the greatest single contributor of Nigerian economy. But because they are owned by several people, companies have their own, individuals have their own, even manufacturing companies have their own haulage business for them to be able to move their goods to
point A to point B.
Big factories, big companies, they have their own haulage arm. Without it, all their products will be wasting in their warehouse. That's the truth. So it's really, really big.
Now, please, I need to take you back to one point you just made a while ago about the issue of overloading and carrying overweight. Are there not mechanisms for checking the load each truck is carrying? I know that when we were growing up, we used to have what we call weighbridge.
Yes.
Are there no longer weighbridges around?
Boy, in Nigeria, now, do you see any weighbridge again? All the weighbridges have
damaged. You tell me, sir, you are the operator.
There are no longer weighbridges in Nigeria. There are no longer weighbridges in Nigeria. And you will not blame any person. The rail sector is not working well. The pipelines are not working. Those are the things that will help the road and make transporting of goods from one place to the other very cheap. So because these things are not working, every person now have to be on the road. And you now as a manufacturer, you now as a business operator, you want to make your product cheap. So how do you do it? By trying to reduce how much you spend on transportation. Because transportation is the major cost of major part of many goods, price of many goods. For instance, cement now. If you take out the money for transportation from cement will be very cheap.
Okay.
I'm telling you the truth. Most products you see, they sell something 10,000. The transport aspect of it might consume almost 3,000 out of the actual price. So as industrialists, they try to make their products cheaper. And how do they do it? By trying to cut costs in transport. And how do you cut in transport? By making the volume of what you can carry in a bulk bigger. For instance, when we are small, the highest tankers you see on the road is 3,000 liters.
Yeah.
But now it's 60,000 liters. Exactly. Why do they make it that way? To cut costs. The pipeline are no longer there working. The railway are no longer working. In other climes, it's the pipeline and the rail that make all these things cheaper. So you don't blame any person. And governments on their own now, they are trying to adapt now by building stronger roads. They are trying to start by doing concrete roads that will last longer. So there's no other way around it. It's either they make roads stronger or they build rail or pipeline.
Okay. Yes, that. It's you're talking about multimodalism again that we'll have to go back to. The issue of you people being bothered by non-state actors, right? You touched a little bit about it. How serious is it, or is this something you just talk about? You know, the so-called area boys.
It's a serious problem.
You said something that you pay almost probably 10 times more than you pay to the government.
Yes, no.
How's that so?
Okay, government take tax from you, direct tax from you once in a year or thereabout, apart from VAT that take. But all these things are small money to compare with what you pay to non-state actors. Sometimes you pay 60,000 to non-state actors in a single trip. Yes.
How so?
Yes, in some locations, especially all those places that are hidden, all those. The major roads now, the Lagos state governments have tried to push them a little bit out of the major roads. But if you are going out of Lagos, you still see them on the road. They give themselves different names. Stop truckers, collect money from them. Even within Lagos, it happens everywhere. They will tell you that collecting revenue for local government. Some tell you that they're selling stickers. Some tell you that they are union. Some just tell you that they are community people. They will be on the road collecting money because the rate of unemployment is too high in Nigeria. So all these youths look for where to make money. And how do they make money? They look for easy targets. And drivers are easy targets. A driver and a conductor, only two of them on the road. And they have 10 boys, block them. What can they do? They're easy targets. And they have goods carrying. They don't want their goods to be vandalized. They don't want their trucks to be vandalized. So they have to pay.
What are the mechanisms put in place to counter the effect of the area boys, the non-state actors generally?
These non-state actors are even the reason why we form unions. Some of us, like me, I was not in union before. It was the menace of these non-state actors that forced some of us to come into unionism so that we can come together and fight them. Because we cannot fight them individually. We cry to government. We do all sorts of things. We come to radio stations, television, TV stations, pay money and cry so that this thing can be heard. The menace is too much, and they're still there. But Lagos State tried to help a bit. They tried in their possible best to move them out of major roads. But when you have things like TTP and the ETO, they still find way of coming through them again and be on the road, trying to tell you that they are working for this and working for that. Whenever drivers stop, they will come. So if you stop checking for TTP, they will come and check for their own pockets. That's on the major road. Then on the corner roads in Lagos, they are everywhere, claiming to be National Union, claiming to be Retian, claiming to be community boys, claiming a lot of things just to make money for themselves. And out of Lagos, it's even worse.
What is the Lagos State government doing about this?
Just like I told you, Lagos State have tried it. They formed what they call last cock to try to to bring out a single ticket so that all these unions up and down will not be extorting people in the name of union. So that no matter the union you belong to, that single ticket will cover the driver all over Lagos. But still, these people still have their way to... All they did is to leave the major road and go to the streets, side streets, and start continue doing their business.
Okay, the last cock you just spoke about, how do they go about their duties? They meet you guys at your offices and say you pay in bulk, or how do they operate?
No, actually the way they operate is that you pay in your garages. You buy the tickets so that when you go on the road, any person that stops you, you show them the ticket that you bought the ticket. That's the...
Per trip? You buy ticket per trip?
When you buy the ticket, you cover it for the whole day.
Okay.
That's how Last Cock operates.
And it's been effective in checking some of these things?
Yeah, it tried. It is effective. But that's on the major road also. But when you go to street corners, Last Cock will not be everywhere now. They still operate. So when you're on a major road, going to Agbara, going to Oshodi, all those major roads, you are covered. But when you go into any streets or any minor roads in Lagos, you still have to pay.
Okay. Aside this, what are the things that bother you in terms of carrying out your business that you think that the government should look into?
A lot. I have a lot of things bothering us, but we still have to move. The economy is not favorable. Imports have reduced. A lot of things. Even the wages because of cutthroat competition, the charges are small. So even our best drivers have left Maritime Corridor. They have gone to other places to work because the Maritime Corridor don't used to be as lucrative as it used to be before. So the good drivers have left Maritime driving. And me personally, I know how many of my good drivers that have left. Some of them went to drive for tankers, some tipper, some look for other jobs to do. So it's a challenge.
Okay. What about the case of spare parts? I mean, it's replacing the damaged parts and being able to replace your trucks. I mean, do you have any kind of assistance there?
No,
or do you have a kind of, since you have stated on several occasions here that you play a very important role in the maritime economy specifically and the Nigerian economy at large, what are the ways that the government is helping to make your business better?
What the government should do in the area of spare parts and maintenance is even to, first of all, check fake spare parts out there, because they are even the major constraint of many truckers. You buy spare parts today and put in a vehicle, in the next 1 week you need to replace it. You find out that it's not a good one. So the sun is not doing enough. Yes. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, they're not doing enough. A lot of fake parts come into Nigeria. In fact, there was a time I imported a tire from China. What I bought a tire in China is double what they sell it in Nigeria. Yes, I bought the tire I bought in China worth 320,000 naira. That's the Nigerian, what they convert it to naira. But in Nigeria now, they sell it 200,000. The same tire.
Why is that so?
Because the one that they brought is substandard now.
The one they brought to Nigeria is substandard?
Yes.
And there's an agency of government that's in charge of those things, certifying them to be of standard.
That's exactly what we are saying now. You have some there. You have many agencies in the world that make even clearing process very difficult. But they don't do their job. Honestly, they don't do their job because a lot of things we buy in Nigeria are substandard, and it affects transport section well. Because you now that want to buy the original, you won't even know the one that is original. Most of the times you don't know. So some of us go out of our way to try to go and import from China, which is more expensive because you are importing at you import very few. The scale of the economy of scale is no longer there. You are importing for your own use alone, so it becomes expensive. But that's the only way you can get genuine quality parts. If you go out there in the market to go and buy it, they will give you fake parts that will worsen your problem. Because tire that's supposed to last for 2 years, within 6 months is gone because it's substandard. So at the end of the day, you feel that you are buying it cheaper, but at the end of the day, you are losing money. It's one of the reasons why most of our trucks are rickety. Maintenance culture become difficult. That's why in Nigeria, most of us that are in transport and logistics will prefer using what we call Tokumbo pass, that's second-hand pass, because at least you can be sure that this one is genuine, even though it's old, even though it's used, it's more genuine than those new ones. So it's a very big challenge to any person that is in transport sector.
Okay. You're the chairman of a Kirikiri Lighter Terminal, one of the...
Kirikiri Truckers Association.
Sorry, Kirikiri Truckers Association, one of the maritime truckers associations.
Yeah.
What are the functions of your association, and how are they been able to take care of some of the issues that you have raised?
Kirikiri Truckers Association, we come together to help ourselves, especially in the area of non-state actors, and the area of exploitation. We've fought so many battles in Kirikiri. Kirikiri, you see, is a hub of transportation, maritime transportation in Lagos. And we have a lot of...
by a station in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. And Kirikiri, if you know where Kirikiri is hidden. So because it's hidden, we have a lot of all those people operating. All those people I'm telling you about, non-state actors. It's not on the major road. So a lot of them are operators. To the extent that time, we in Kirikiri find it difficult to move, find it difficult to do business. You can't move your truck, you can't move your truck out because you have to pay through your nose. So that's why we have to form the association. And one important association help us because we have to partner with Lascock, Amato, Comtois, telling them our plight. So, and even to Lagos State government.
What about the litigation that you instituted? Was it against the government or against a particular section of maybe a government agency or a particular section of the population?
MPA, TTP, and the Lagos State government. Any person that is hand is in the TTP and the we just yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it's not all the maritime people that instituted this thing. It's some part of a maritime union, Comtois, and the Kirikiri Association. We are in support.
Okay.
Because why we are in support is because we in Kirikiri, we know there's no traffic in Kirikiri. Not much is happening in Kirikiri. Before you know it, they brought it to Kirikiri. They collect billions of naira from us before we were able to stop them collecting money from Eto. And that time they're collecting with their private accounts. A lot of things are happening now.
But now it's been stopped.
It's been stopped in Kirikiri. And if we are not fighting, they will still bring it back to Kirikiri. So before your truck can move anywhere, you now pay Eto. Before your truck can move out of your garage, you pay. So the way they are going about the TTP is not what it's supposed to be. If we don't fight them, they will make it that before you move out of your garage, you pay Eto. Before you come into your garage, you pay. Because all the terminals, small terminals, they want to put it everywhere. So that's the reason, that's one of the reasons why we form an association to protect our business.
Okay.
Yeah, because all this money are the money that we should have used to maintain our truck. You use those money and pay to people that claim to be government agencies. At the end of the day, they will still come back and tell us that our trucks are rickety. So do they want me to go and sell my father's house to come and maintain my truck? Is it no more than I make from the truck that I used to maintain the truck?
All right, sir. Sir, could you tell us, round up in a minute, in 30 seconds, tell us what you think the government should do to help improve your business, the business of the movers of the economy?
Government have to do a lot. So they have to. I heard that they are forming joint. What do you call? They have to eradicate touting on the road. That's a major problem.
Okay. Major drain on your resources.
Our resources, touting.
Right.
Both state actors and non-state actors. Yes, because I will tell you the truth, state actors contribute. Non-state actors are even the worst. But because all of them are working hand in hand, a policeman will see you when touts are molesting you, they will look the other way around because they know themselves collect from you. So transport business in Nigeria is suffering because of touting. That's the truth. And because of harassment on the road, they spend so much money. If money individual transporters spend on non-state actors and state actors, if they use 1/10 of it and pay to government as tax, government will have good money in their pockets. Okay. That's the truth.
Thank you so very much, sir. We've been talking with Mr. Kelvin Chinedu Okechukwu, the chairman of the Kirikiri Truckers Association, one of the maritime truckers association in the maritime sector. Today, we've been talking about the place of maritime truck in the Nigerian economy. They call themselves the movers of the economy. Of course, he has been saying that regularly. We hope that some of the issues that have been highlighted will be taken care of by the government, especially the issue of what we call the area boys, the non-state actors who he has complained so much about their effect on the negative effect they have on their businesses. I hope the government is listening and then that they will do something very, very quickly about it. This is Dili Utomi on the Maritime Frontier Show today. Stick with us again next week on another episode of the show. Thank you and have yourself a wonderful week ahead.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on Vop TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, Your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on Vop TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing Vop TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. Vop TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, Vop TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
Vop TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Presently, as I'm talking to you here, I am at the place where it all started back in 2022, the Slum Art School, Ijora Badia. You can see with me, students, teachers, of course you can see a whole lot of artwork and students all practicing and putting themselves to good use, because they say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. But these students are not idle. They're doing something with their lives. And I'm going to be talking to one or two of them. And I have with me, I have Sadiq, please.
My experience being with slum art and the students is to make better future for the students and be able to make things on their own pertaining to artwork or pet too in the future. in order to make their future more brighter.
This is a collage.
They call it collage.
Yes, we call it collage.
Okay. What are all these papers?
That's magazines.
From where? Where did you get all these magazines?
That's discarded magazines. In 30 minutes max, yeah.
30 minutes?
Yes, they can.
I know they pay anything. Even school fees, book, socks, sandals, uniforms, anything. I know they pay. Before then, they another school. They know they do anything. Like then they speak, then they write, they read. They know they catch up. But since we don't reach there, then they catch up. And there is something. If I speak English with no correct, then we correct me, say no, mommy, no, it's like that. They pray for them, make God bless them.
We're here to kind of like celebrate, these children here, for the opportunity that was given to them by like Vadi to Ashe. So far, so good. The support has not been, regretted. It's something that we sat down, we thought about, and we clearly know, the vision, what we're trying to get at, and what we're trying to get at is actually to like help these children to, become more than what their current environment is kind of like bottling them into.
Out here, you can see on top of me bottles, but they are just not bottles. They are artwork. And it means this is an art studio, upcoming art studio, that the students of the Slum Art School Ijora, Badia, will be using as a platform for them to exhibit art and, of course, intelligence. Of course, I have some of the students who were part of this art studio to give us a little bit of explanation. We have Taufik, Muiz, and Fawaz.
Yeah, we went from picking bottle to putting rope, can see. We used the fishing line to hold it up.
Okay.
So we went from picking to putting rope and hanging.
It means a lot to us because we like to do this for fun, something like carrying bottles, put it on, do so many things.
A lot. Because me, I'm an interior decor.
Wow.
And my friend is fashion designer.
Wow.
So we love doing art.
I learned collage and artwork when I entered the school. The teacher they are teaching well. We use magazine and brush and glue.
Slum started in 2018. Started with 10 different communities: Ijarabadia, Kyokyo Village, Magedun, Bariga, New Garage, Gidankwali, and that is the beginning of slum art. But we noticed that it's not just touch and go, just go into this community and you never return back. So we decided to engage more, implant ourselves into the community, build a school where kids can come in. So we take our kids from the street and those who just roam about the community. So we use art as one part. We do animations, we do photography. So depending on what the child wants to learn, we decide to just be a part of people's life in our own little way to help them shape in their future and help them come out of mentally come out of their environment.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not a spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here is to Vop TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching Vop TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is Vop TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on Vop TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on Vop TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Apelon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please the sport.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on Vop TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. Vop TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, Vop TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
Welcome to the rhythm of heaven, where every voice, every soul, every sound comes together in harmony. This is Gospel Fusion. This is Gospel Fusion. From the street to the steeple, from the young to the wise. With every nation, with a sound that never dies. Together never dies. Heartbeat of revival. Let the Spirit lead the way. Every reverend, every language, praising God in every way. This is Gospel Fusion.
Well, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and we bid you welcome to Gospel Fusion Live, your one-stop gospel entertainment show that you need on a beautiful Sunday afternoon like today. And of course, we bid you welcome anywhere in the world that you're watching us from. I want to say thank you always for staying with us. Well, my name remains David E. And of course, I'm going to be your anchor and guide throughout the show. Now, just in case you're just tuning in, Gospel Fusion Live is a magazine program with different segments in it. We're going to be kicking it off with the Gospel Music Roots segment, and that is a segment where we give you a very short documentary, and we, of course, let you know how much gospel music has changed the trajectory of a particular race or people or even culture. So it's a simple analogy of making you realize that gospel music has the power to change so much, not just people, but also culture and, of course, race. And today we have one amazing country that we're bringing to you. Also, yes, after that segment, we're giving you the top 5 gospel song of the week. Now, you know, every other time when we tell you that our top 5 gospel song is intensely scrutinized, we don't joke about it. And trust me when I say this, for every single top 5 that we bring to you, be very assured that we've gone through the length and the breadth of the shores of Nigeria to making sure, and of course, all through all social media streaming platforms, to making sure that our top 5 is credible. And what I tell you always is, if you think that 1 or 2 songs, it's not in our top 5, we only would tell you one thing, and that thing would be send us your own top 5, and hopefully your top 5 might just be gracing the screen next week. All right, and yes, after the segment, we'll go straight, of course, giving you the behind the music segment. That's the segment where we talk to industry players, and I'm talking about the gospel music industry, gospel entertainment industry, gospel, well, if there's anything like that, the business industry as well. And we'll be talking to them one-on-one with them, and you'll be feeling their pulse. Not just that, also letting you into how they've survived the particular journey that you think was so easy for them. And today we have also joining us an amazing gospel music sensation. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag right now, but I'll be telling you for a fact that we will be enjoying every single bit of that conversation with this amazing gospel sensation. All right, without wasting further time, let's let you into our first segment of the show, and that is the gospel music roots segment. And our country in focus today is Gabon. And well, some time ago, I heard someone tell me something about that country, that it's so beautiful that if you get in there and you do business with some of the Gabonese, you would definitely have a good relationship with them, because they are beautiful people. And of course, today we'll be letting you into the gospel music roots, how much gospel music has evolved in that country, and how much it has changed the lives and of course the culture and the people of that great country. Like I always would say, you can join us anywhere in the world just by going to your Google and type www.vop.ng, and trust me, you'll be taking us with you anywhere in the world. I'm expecting your comments, so you can go straight to our comment session. Now on YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV. So on YouTube, go to the comment section and let us know the question you want to ask our guest today. And also, maybe, just maybe, you might also be telling us one thing that you are grateful to God for today. All right, of course, on all other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. So yeah, let's go to all of the comment section and let your comments be there, because of course with us, you have more than a voice. Okay, let's go straight to Gabon and bring you the gospel music roots segment. Of course, the country in focus today is Gabon. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Traditional gospel music in Gabon. The evolution of gospel music in Gabon has been profoundly shaped by historical events, including the arrival of Christian missionaries and the introduction of Western musical styles. Over the decades, Gabonese gospel music has transformed from traditional church hymns to incorporate local rhythms and contemporary influences, creating a rich sound that resonates across generations and communities. Liturgical and hymn-based church music. History and emergence. Liturgical and hymn-based music was introduced by Catholic and Protestant missionaries in the mid-19th century. Mission schools taught European hymns and plain chant, which became the foundation for early Christian musical life in Gabon. On the evolution Over time, local languages and vocal styles were incorporated, adapting European hymns to Gabonese tonalities and call and response patterns. Notable musicians, such as Pierre Akendengyu, later blended these hymns with traditional Gabonese music to create unique compositions. This genre helped stabilize Christian worship, fostered musical literacy, and provided a shared repertoire across different ethnic groups and denominations. Choral and congregational gospel. History and emergence. Emerging in the mid-20th century, choral and congregational gospel grew organically from parish choir singing introduced by missionaries. It became central to religious and community life. On the evolution, local choirs developed distinctive harmonies and rhythmic patterns, blending traditional Gabonese music with Western choral techniques. Urban choirs later incorporated contemporary popular influences, creating a bridge between rural and urban musical culture. On its impact, choir music became a cornerstone of social events, from weddings and funerals to civic ceremonies, while also providing opportunities for youth engagement and musical training. With the rise of Pentecostal and charismatic churches in the late 20th century, gospel music became more rhythmic and performance-oriented. Modern instruments such as keyboards, electric guitars, and drum sets were introduced. On the evolution, this genre fused African rhythms with international gospel, R&B, and Afrobeat influences, producing a vibrant, energetic style that appeals to younger audiences. On its impact, Pentecostal gospel has invigorated worship, created national gospel artists, and contributed to the growing popularity of gospel music in media and urban culture. Bwiti influenced syncretic music, history and emergence. The Bwiti spiritual tradition of the Fong people, characterized by polyrhythmic percussion and ngombe harp music, has influenced Gabonese gospel through syncretism. Bwiti rituals have historically incorporated Christian elements, creating a unique musical dialogue. Bwiti rhythms and chant patterns have moved from ritual spaces into urban concerts and stage performances, blending with church and secular music. This fusion has shaped expressive singing styles in both religious and cultural contexts, strengthening cultural identity and offering a distinctive spiritual musical experience. Ethnogospel/traditional fusion gospel. History and emergence *. Traditional ethnic music from Fong, Punu, Main, and Zibi communities has been adapted for Christian worship, creating ethnogospel forms that reflect Gabonese linguistic and cultural diversity. On evolution *. Songs maintain traditional melodies and rhythms but are performed in church services and urban concerts, merging heritage with contemporary gospel trends. Ethnogospel has preserved cultural traditions, enhanced community pride, and made Christian worship locally relevant while bridging generational and ethnic divides. Across its history, Gabonese gospel music has influenced multiple generations and cultural contexts. From mission hymns to urban Pentecostal performances, these genres have fostered intergenerational musical transmission, strengthened ethnic and national identity, and enabled dialogue between traditional and modern spiritual expressions. The fusion of local rhythms, indigenous traditions, and religious themes has created a resilient and evolving musical heritage. The traditional gospel music genres of Gabon, including liturgical hymns, choral gospel, Pentecostal/contemporary gospel, which influenced syncretic music, and ethnogospel, are central to the nation's cultural and spiritual life. Their historical development reflects a dynamic interplay of indigenous, European, and Christian influences, with enduring social and cultural impacts that continue to resonate across communities and generations.
young to the wise. With we every nation, with a sound that never dies. Hop together, never dies. Heartbeat of revival. Let the spirit lead the way. Every reverend, every language, praising God in every way. This is gospel fusion.
Well, there you have it. I mean, when I saw that, and of course, a mix-up of some of the Nigerian artists, I was just telling myself, yeah, that is how much the influence of some Nigerian gospel artists have had on countries like Congo. And I can tell you for a fact that the involvement of gospel music in Congo is a major one because it transcends towards other countries very, very much close to it. There, of course, they share border together. But then again, one interesting part of that conversation is the fact that the missionaries consistently give to some African countries, I dare say all African countries, some of the sounds that they had back then and how much it's been changed over time. It's another beauty to behold. And I can say truly that that is what gospel music roots every other time that we bring it to you is all about. Letting you know how much of a major trajectory gospel music has had within the space of time in that particular country. All right, without wasting further time, let's get to the next segment of the show. And of course, that is telling you what songs made it to our top 5 gospel songs of the week. Now, like I always would say, if you think one or two songs that you feel is supposed to be there is not there, it's very simple. Let us know what your top 5 would be. And of course, you can do that by going straight to our comment section on all of our social media platforms. On YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, we are at Vop TV Live. Let us know what your top 5 songs of the week is. But then again, until then, let's find out what songs made it to the top 5 gospel songs of the week as ended yesterday, Saturday.
Gospel Song of the Week. Number 5.
Your presence is enough for me. Nothing else will do. No one else will.
Number 4.
The song you want to hear, surrender. I surrender unto you. Only fire burn on my altar. Burning.
Number 3. Number 2. Number 1.
The joy and peace where you give me, give you plenty overflow, and the joy you surround me with.
Gospel Fusion Live.
But there you have it. Without wasting further time, I dare say that our top 5 song for this week is quite interesting because Dulce Oyeko made it in 2 slots of the top 5. And for me, that's clearly is an indication of the fact that Minister Dulce truly have been blessing lives. And I'm not saying every other person that did not make it to the top 5 have not been blessing lives. No, I'm just saying that the impact at which the sounds coming from that minister and of course the people he's featured in some of his sound have been interestingly amazing, and we celebrate grace in the lives of this great men and women of God. I mean, the number 1 song, Boku by Yada, featuring Ada Ehi. For me, that song is another beautiful song that indeed should be blessing you. But without wasting further time, oh yes, let me also let you know that if we were going to drag this to top 10, you'd be stunned at the songs that made it into the top 10 of the week. But most importantly as well, we had to make it to the top 5 so that we can make the competition, well, healthy competition, more strong and more beautiful. And trust me when I say this,
It is indeed a pleasure doing this every other weekend. All right, well, like I did say last week, we will be having a bit of some different feel when it comes to the show. And yes, I told you earlier that our guest is already with us. He's joining us. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. You will be finding out who our guest would be. But that would be after this very short break. And that break is meant for you and I to get some good laugh. Hey, my friend and brother, Will, comedian of the Federal Republic, has got us laughing on this one. Let's take this break with that particular skit. I will be right back.
Notice what Jesus Christ do. People still shout, crucify him. Hello? I can tell you that I know everybody that shouted, crucify him. I know them. Let me tell you how. Because imagine if they owe somebody 10 million. You go here say the person don't die. And only you and I know say you they owe her. The family members won't know. You know say that news are bitter and sweet. You they happy say you don't die, you they vex say you die. Now that kind of news make they tell good luck Jonathan when Yara don't die. You don't know whether to shout thank you Lord or oh my God. Lazarus, especially when they owe Lazarus money. Yes, say Lazarus don't die. 3 days later, Lazarus called her. Hello, where my money? He called her. I say you know that. He said, no, Jesus Christ, heal me. He wake me from the dead. If that guy came here that they crucified Jesus, that guy go shout waiting. Do you know how important it is for bread and the Israelites? Bread. Bread is so important. When God bring bread from heaven, come. Now bread he bring as manna. Jesus Christ called himself, I am the bread of life. Bread is so important. Even Christians, they call themselves brethren. Then one man for Jerusalem, now only I get bakery. Every year, they sell every day 5,000 bread. He must sold out. One day, come to bakery, see bread everywhere. When I not said today, he said, no, now only 5 we sell. And that 5 where we sell, Jesus use and feed 5,000 people. Okay? The way they say, I will not set it next week, because they thought say 12 baskets surplus. If that man, they wear Jesus Christ, that they kill him, that man go shout 20. There was a man in the Bible, he had a piggery, swine. He did take care of his pigs innocently when he did feed the family. Then Jesus Christ see demon. Who are you? They are legion. The pig will not do anything, and so they pack all the demon. Enter person business. Now the pig will enter water die.
Oh well. Comedian Will Mount on that one. I mean, sometimes when you just hear some of these things, you get to start thinking, how did these guys come up with these lines? But then again, it's their craft and we celebrate them. And I'm hoping that in the nearer days, while 2026 runs by, we'll be having comedian Will Mount right here on the show. You know, we promise and we also deliver. That's our workings. All right, then let's get to the conversation proper. Now, I told you earlier before that break that we had our guest joined us, and he's joined us virtually. And I think right now he's in Jos, I think. I can't even remember now, but he definitely will tell us where he is. Please help me make welcome an amazing gospel rapper. I mean, it's been a while I heard people rap. Anyways, Minister Freeman is with us. A very good afternoon to you, and thank you for joining the conversation today. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing very good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm doing well. I'm doing well, and I want to say thank you for joining the conversation. I mean, before now, I did hear you did tell me that you lost someone close, and you were going to go for you know, maybe consoling the family or something, but you still made it to the conversation. I want to say my condolences to the person. We pray that the family of the person, God grants them the fortitude to bear the loss. And I mean,
Amen.
It's a difficult one, but then thank you again for joining the conversation. All right, let me ask, where exactly are you presently? Jos?
Yeah, I'm in just Plateau State.
Oh,
Precisely.
fantastic, fantastic. How is
Yeah.
Plateau today?
Very cold. As usual.
Well, that's the place where some people would say if you want to have a feel of UK, US during the summer, you just go to Plateau State
Exactly.
and you enjoy it a little
Yeah.
bit. Anyways, let's start off with you. I mean, a lot of persons who are just seeing you for the first time will be wondering, who is this person and what does he do? So let's know who Freeman is today.
Yeah, the name is Freeman Fanatic, and I'm a Christian rapper, singer, songwriter, and I major in Christian hip hop most times. And yeah, I drop a couple of songs, and I have projects that are out. You can check me out on all platforms. So, thank you.
All right then. Well, I get that part where a lot of persons will want to say, "Oh, really? Do we really have gospel rap artists?" Yes, we do. We do. Because you don't listen to gospel rap, it doesn't mean that we don't have. But let me start off with you as a rapper. Aside the fact that yes, I also know that you study, you're in school. What school precisely are you in?
Film Institute, National Film Institute, just.
Okay, all right. Now, how do you come about your content? I mean, some persons would say that rap, stems from so many things. One from maybe situation around me or my life as a person. How do you come about your content?
Okay, first of all, I would say I get inspired by God most of the times because there are some songs that I write, and when the song is finally out, I'd wonder if I was one that really wrote the song because it's more like I just photocopied from heaven. But most of the times, I get inspired by life itself and the realities around me. I have songs that talks about depressions. I have songs that talks about death, and songs that also talks about Nigeria as a whole. So, one major factor that inspires me is realities of life. Also.
Okay, now before we go deeper into all of your inspiration and all of that, when did you even start this journey? And of course, when did you realize you really want to do rap? I mean, this is a genre of music that a lot of persons are not into.
Yeah. So I started music over a decade ago, and it started as a joke. But I knew that I was good at some point because my brother pointed out to me, my elder brother pointed that out to me when I was just freestyling and doing my stuff. And my major influences were rappers like Lecrae, Eminem, NF, and the rest. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. So, that time we had a lot of rappers. I would say most singers now started off as rappers. And, they see rap as something that doesn't actually sell, but I know that this is where I'm most relevant, or that's where I can operate or express myself more. So I said I'm sticking to this no matter what. So I'm very glad that I did, because rap music for me is personal and is how I get to express myself and praise God.
All right then. Well, before I go even deeper, now of course, a particular platform did reach out to me, and they also did say, "Hey, can you help us get across this guy? Let's hear his story and all of that." Now, the conversation surrounding the fact that you even chose to stay in this genre of music is another one, because just like you did mention earlier, and of course you rightly did mention, a lot of persons will feel, come on, rap music, do they even make the money? Do they even see, to even gain publicity and thereabouts? Now, my question to you would be, how did you manage to navigate all of the negativity surrounding this genre of music that you've stuck with? And how did you hold on and of course uncovered the fact that you still want to stay here?
Yeah, to be honest, it's not easy. It has not been easy because one or two people most of the time come in and they would want to point you to something that seems really, really catchy, and people would they would say, yeah, people would get attracted to this kind of music. But I know my calling. That is what has helped me. I know that I can use rap as a tool to bring people out, because I don't only do this online alone. So I do jungle ministry. We go out to jungles and we perform. We just do when it's time to go, we just call them out, we pray for them, and we get people that really have this talent. Like when we go out there, I see a lot of people that really want to do this, and see me as somebody that has been doing that, they get inspired, and that alone has been like a fuel to my journey and my passion. So the whole talks and everything will not actually get into my head to want to quit or want to change genre, because you might just miss it when you start copying some people's story or some people's calling, you while not staying in your own calling actually. So I decided to remain in my calling and remain in what I know, that when I hold this mic, there's nobody that will do this like me.
Okay.
And that has been my motivation over time, because I do a little of singing. There are songs that I write. I know that I'm not the one that will take these songs, because I write songs a lot. I know that I'm not this song is not for me to take, it's for me to write, maybe and dash somebody or sell it out or something. But I don't do most of these things that does not revolve around what I know that I'm called to do.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I like the part that you have, really come out to kind of tell the world about some of the silent struggles of a gospel, of a creative like yourself. Now, let's talk about self-doubt. Has there been a time that you've had this self-doubt about the genre that you chose? Because here's the truth. A lot of persons, too, also are facing the same situation that you have passed, because I dare say you've passed that stage. I mean, when I saw some of your content on TikTok, I just told myself, nah, this guy is some amazing talent. But the self-doubt, how were you able to knock it off and navigate through it? Because I tell you for a fact, one or two persons are watching right now and they want to be inspired on how to go about knocking off their own self-doubt as well.
Okay, so I would say self-doubt is something that would forever remain there. Is how you navigate through it that matters. So I've fought self-doubt countless times. I feel the higher you go, the higher the amount of self-doubt you get, because it's a new dimension. You get to be open to a whole new dimension, new audience, new way of living. So you are trying to ask yourself this question: if you're going to fit in, if people are going to accept you, and if this is going to work. But my consolation is the fact that I still go back to God, and I still pray every time, because most of the times, if you are doing these things and you're not going back to God, it gets so heavy. Sometimes I just talk to God and ask Him, God, help me. Me, I'm just but your vessel. I'm just here to pass the message. I'm not used to this kind of life. I'm not used to this, because left for me, I would have, remained anonymous, because I don't like all these things, but because it has to be. So I just go back to Him and say, God, help me. And most of the times, I just go on, even with the fear, even with the doubt. I just go on while in obedience, because at the end of the day, these things do not stop coming. You have that doubt, you have that fear, but the motivation that you would have is for you to just move, regardless of how you feel, regardless how you, the emotions are running into your mind. So most of the times, you just move, knowing that God is in the boat. Jesus Christ is there. He's going to stable all the storms.
All right, then. Well, I like the fact that the way you have been able to consistently knock off self-doubt is by maintaining, spiritual balance. But let's talk a little on the part that I know some other young Nigerians and of course Africans that are watching right now would quite agree with me on congregational bias. Now, you know for a fact that when we get to church, it's either you're praising or you're worshiping. Well, unfortunately, because of the kind of because of the kind of system that we found ourselves, there's a separation of praise and worship. Either way, you're praising God. If you're worshiping, you're praising. If you're praising, you're worshiping. But then Nigerians, they have a way of just separating it. Now, let's talk about congregational bias. Rap music is not one that we're used to in this part of the world. How have you been able to also navigate that particular bias mentally from your end?
Yeah, I think my end, we have more of the Orthodox churches, which they are conch Christians. That, you know, they have these reservations for rap music because it's actually a new genre. So I have a scenario where I went to minister in a church. After I was done, this man stood up and said hip hop music is devilish and rap music is from the devil. Oh my God. I was there. Like, he said rap music is of the devil. Or is it the scenario where we get to the stage and we're singing, they will take the mic from us. So we had all manner of encounters and experiences as regard to this that would even make us want to give up. But I would say, coming from where I'm coming from, I'd already experienced all these things. And for me, to find balance and to maintain that is only by the grace of God. I cannot even say. Because at sometimes you wake up and say, why are you even doing this? Because these people don't even see you as part of them or part of somebody that will lead them to Christ with this kind of music that you're doing. But, you know, I was able to navigate because I listen to people a lot from outside. So I think it's one motivation again. I listen to people a lot from outside and people have been doing that and they have actually seen these people treat them that way. So they've jumped that. I watched them, their videos, interviews, and how they were able to navigate this kind of treatments in the church. So I said, okay, if this person can do it, I can do it. So I feel for now, people are beginning to get attracted to my kind of sound because it's not the usual worship, it's not the usual praise that we see all around. So this is a new genre that we're introducing into the church. And I feel if the church can accept this, there's going to be a total turnaround in some ways that we never imagined.
We're hoping that truly there is, you know, the acceptance of different genre of music in the church, and of course there wouldn't be that segregation like it's always have been before now. All right, then let's move on to another part of the conversation and let's talk a bit about you. I mean, right now, I know for a fact, like you said, you're in a film institute and you're possibly hoping to be done with schooling, but what's the plan for music in 2026?
Okay, I have a lot of plans for music. Maybe this one. I just dropped an EP recently, though. So I'm working on my debut album.
Okay.
Hopefully this year or next year, depending on when we are done. But as time goes by, I'll be dropping a couple of singles. So I have this my song that is out on all platforms, Gadara. And I mean, those are the recent releases that are currently on these platforms right now. So it's going to be a year full of work. There's no rest this year.
All right then. Well, I like the part where you say there's no resting right now because, I mean, you're young. You should be having so much activities coming your way, particularly when it comes to the music industry. But another part of the conversation I wanted to find out from you is, you said earlier that there's been kickbacks on the path of acceptance by the people around, particularly on your style of gospel music. How have you been able to then make it to the studio? And I'm talking financials now because the people who even do the praise and the worship genre of gospel music are still struggling to get to the studio. How have you been able to consistently ship out songs and of course go to the studio and get
Yeah.
them out?
Yeah, I feel one of those things that made me know that this thing I'm doing is not by my own accord, or I'm not just doing it for me. Is the fact that God blessed me with people in places that would help out, and because when I was beginning this journey, I could barely afford a studio session. I knew that God was just cooking me because I was just writing. That was what I was doing. I was writing, and I was not in a rush to go record songs.
Okay.
I was just writing, I was just rehearsing and doing a lot of things behind the scene. And when it was time, we had this group. We had a group of 6, and we were able to raise something and build our own studio because it was a crazy journey. Then afterwards, the group was no more, and God still kept our producer. His name is Real Tricks. He has been the producer producing all of my songs, almost all of my songs. Any song that I release, most of them, he's the one behind the job. Real Tricks, or you can say Ba. That's his signature. So God has blessed me with people in strategic places that have helped out with some of the financial burdens, but I'll still say it's not easy, to be honest, because you cannot always bank on people and not be able to do something yourself. So from time to time, I'm able to push myself with the little that I have, and God has been faithful. I would say God has been my major sponsor, because there are some things that I know that I would have paid for, but He'll just make a way without even, me even sweating it. So I give glory to God and the people in my circle, to be honest.
Well, I like the fact that God really has blessed you with people around your circle. And I can tell you that a lot of persons truly would desire right now to be in this space that you are, particularly on the fact that going to sessions have not been, I have quite a lot of young individuals, gospel sensations who I've heard them, and I can say, yes, these guys are good, but jump into the studio is another. That again, you have scaled through. All right, let's talk about the part of social media as an influence. Some have said the advent of social media in the gospel music scene, generally, the music scene generally also have been a major blessing. How would you attribute the impact of social media on your ministry as a person?
The impact of social media on my ministry is incredible. I don't think we would even be talking even not for social media. Yeah, because most of my stuff, I just said, okay, since these people, these big artists, these big ministers, and all of them, they actually have a rollout plan, probably going into millions, billions. And since I don't have that, why don't I, just leverage on social media? I promise myself to post at least once a day.
Okay.
And I promise myself, sometimes I post 4 times in a day, 4 different videos in a day, because I know that the competition is with people that are actually pumping a lot of money. I don't have that money to pump, but I know that I can be consistent with posting videos. If I have little amount of money, I can run ads. But to be honest, I would say social media has been a blessing to me. Most especially this year, I had a couple of my videos went viral, and it introduced me to a lot of people. It opened doors for me, which I am so grateful to God for, and social media.
Oh, well, that again has been a major plus for quite a number of persons. And I'm glad that you are, one that have been beneficial of that move. But let's come to the part of what else you do aside doing music. You did say that you go doing jungle ministry. I was trying to, allow you take your lines and, of course, end what you mean by the question I asked earlier. But you never, expanded on that side of your life. When you say you do
Okay.
jungle ministry, help Africans and Nigerians understand what that means.
Okay. So we go to this ghetto. We go to the slums, as people would
Okay.
call it, and places where people, they use drugs and stuff like that. And we mount our speakers. That's our way of evangelism. So we mount our speakers and we freestyle till we are tired. Then we play songs, we just rap. Sometimes we start with no person inside, but once they get the sound and they hear how good it is, we attract them automatically. So when they come, we can even give them the opportunity to sing, to do what they want to do. Some of them, they have seen live and they've experienced a lot of things. So we just tell them, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to freestyle for us. And the only thing you're going to do, you should you should not make it dirty. You should do what you have to do. Just talk about the goodness of God and the rest. Then when we are done, we pray with them. We tell them about the love of God, and we take their numbers most of the times, and we try our best to see that we go back there and keep in touch.
All right,
So
then that trust me, that is an amazing one there. I mean, thinking that some of the younger folks are somewhere in some clubs spending money and not even doing right by the gospel, and you guys are doing such an amazing job. We truly, truly want to commend your efforts there. All right, then. Well, you did say earlier that you had several plans for music this year. Any major collaborations? Because I did not ask that earlier. Any major collaborations going into the year?
Okay, we are actually planning on some collaborations, but it's yet to mature. So I wouldn't want to rush and say something, but I believe we would have major collaborations this year, and
If you
it's going to
would
be.
want, if you would want a major collaboration amongst several gospel artists across the world, who would you want to first?
Yeah. Okay, across the world, I would say, I don't know if you know Lecrae. That's been my major influence. He's a rapper,
Yeah.
so I would love to work with Lecrae, like for real. And and there are a couple of people in Nigeria that I would love to work with. I feel our message aligns.
Who and where
People
you
like
got-
Great Man. Yeah, people like Great Man, Moses Bliss, and who else? I love Mercy Chinwo. I love her.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
I'd love to work with her. Yeah.
Messi without wasting
And
further
don't
time,
see.
I hear. So
Yes, please.
I like the fact that you even mentioned her name and of course Moses Bliss and Great Man Talkit. These are amazing
Yeah.
gospel sensations that have done so well for themselves over time, and of course blessed God's people over time. All right, then. Well, without wasting further time they say fly when we're having so much fun. Now, you're going to do three things before we wrap up the conversation. The first one is, as it stands right now, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, 1 minute to talk to young people across the world, and of course, the ones that are watching right now and the ones that will be watching later. A word of encouragement, because I know some are going through one situation or the other. Now, some might not even be doing gospel music. Some might just be doing some artistry. Some might possibly be doing baking and all of that, and are going through one situation or the other. What can you say to those kind of people in a time like this, and of course, a season like this?
Okay. If you're watching me or wherever you're watching me from, I would love to tell you to keep at it. Whatever you're doing to, be relevant, keep at it. It's not easy, to be honest, especially for people back here and people in Nigeria, people in Africa. It's not easy. So whatever you're doing, just keep at it. People are actually seeing. You'll be wondering why your time is, why is taking time for your manifestation. But trust me, when God decides to announce you, you would be very shocked, because He's going to break all the protocols. So just keep on believing, keep on praying, keep on doing what you're doing, and the world will celebrate you soon.
All right, then. Thank you so very much Freeman fanatic for that particular one. All right, the other one is a game. We'll play games here towards the end of the show. And the game is quite simple. I'm going to mention 3 cities inside a country, and you will tell us in 5 seconds after I've mentioned the 3 cities, the country that we're talking, that I just mentioned the cities. I'll give you a clear example of what I'm talking about. So for instance, when I say Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, you know I'm talking about what?
Nigeria.
Good. So you would answer us in 5 seconds. Are you ready?
I mean, pity me so that.
Guess what? We're all winners on this particular platform. We're all winners. Let me start off with, okay, and now that you're very ready. Okay.
Okay.
Halifax, Calgary, Saxton.
What?
Halifax.
What?
Halifax, Calgary, Saxton.
Oh my God. Nah. This sounds new. It sounds so new, man.
Okay, I was talking about Canada. Canada is a country. I did not want to mention any country that you know, any city that you know. But you would have gotten it when I said Calgary. I pitied you now.
Calgary.
Yes, Calgary is just one of the popular cities in Canada. Anyways, let's let me pick another one quickly.
Simpler one, yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to really make sure that you. All right, Bilbao, Madrid, and Salamanca. Bilbao, Madrid, Salamanca.
Say it again.
Bilbao, Madrid, Salamanca.
Okay. Is that Spain?
Is that your final answer?
Spain.
Yes, you got this one. Ooh. Congratulations. Okay, so it's 1-1. It's 1-1. The final one, before we allow you sing us out of the studio, the final one, without wasting further time. Leipzig, Nuremberg, Stuttgart. Leipzig, Nuremberg, Stuttgart. Leipzig, Nuremberg, Stuttgart.
Germany.
Oh, I heard someone tell you Germany. I heard it clearly. Okay, all right. You have some Expo people there. I because I heard it.
He's actually a footballer, so he knows.
You see. When I said Leipzig, you will know RB Leipzig. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, because he has given you an Expo, you will not play this game again. Let's go to the end part of the conversation. Now, in another 30 to maybe 45 seconds, bless God's people with your sound while we wrap up this conversation. 30, 45 seconds, even 1 minute at max.
All right. For me, they don't get it when we screaming God first. They wonder how we keep us so in this regardless. They've been trying to make us vibeless, honest. I don't even bother for Jesus to win me over. He got plenty reasons, but he had to die first. One time to greatest history, the Jesus mystery. He crack it up and make it plain to me. It never used to be. I used to live the way I choose to live, but on the cross I found myself because Jesus changed my destiny. I'm saying they don't get it. No wonder they make a jest of him. They don't know the vision and they don't understand the testament. The rest of them are hating. The best of them keep negating. They be painting a lot of pictures hoping I get jaded. But like electricity, I just they shock them. The power supply is God. I'm chilling with the highest government. Like disciple of Jesus, I possess the power of 12 men. Cause I bear on me the mic, I call it heavily endorsed, man. Say nobody can love me like you do, God. I can't even reach a standard. I'm too short, a little too odd, maybe too rough. Sometimes I miss my way, I get too far. I don't too cast. You overlook these things, give me real chance. Even though be messy, tell me where I foresee through pass. Some say I do jazz. Got me wondering why you are doing too much. You've been too soft.
This is true, Lord, more than the work pain. You didn't leave when I saw you so patient. Give me the strength to walk away when I'm tempted. You call me yours, that was when my heart melted. I'm so far from being perfect. You call me and pick me up like detergent. You are the teller, I'll serve like a surgeon. You make deals beautiful, no need to do purging. Yeah.
Word. Some bars there, I must say. Well done, man. Thank you so very much for being a part of this conversation. Minister Freeman Fanatic, thank you. And we do appreciate you for being here. All right, then, this is the size of the show, people. I want to say big thank you to everyone who's made the production possible, from my director, Manfred, and of course to the Angels person, Lady A, to my bars person, hey, my only personal PA, I'm talking about Praise Peters, and of course to the sound person, none other than Apostle Paul himself. And yes, to you out there that have taken your time to see us today, I want to say big thank you to you. Big thank you. As we go, we only would say, don't allow the weekend weaken you. Hey, here's another interesting part. In about a few minutes from now, we'll be going on the other side, and I'm talking about Praise Wave Live with world famous DJ Ivan, giving you the ones and twos, and of course, giving you 1 full hour of amazing praise to our God, the one who I always say is faithful even in our unfaithfulness. All right, people, do have an amazing week ahead, because yes, it's the start of a new week. And of course, never forget, every day is a plus. God loves you, and so do I. David E. saying, do have a great week. God bless.
Welcome to the rhythm of heaven, where every voice, every soul, every sound comes together in harmony. This is Gospel Fusion. This is Gospel Fusion. From the streets to the steeple, from the young to the wise, with every nation, with a sound that never dies, hop together never dies. Heartbeat of revival, let the Spirit lead the way. Every reverend, every language, praising God in every way. This is Gospel Fusion.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here is to view PTV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti.
People's Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the Atlas.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together.
Vop TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs the voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, Vop TV, entertainment like never before.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on Vop TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People television.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging 1-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
I'm Sarah Nystrom from Sweden, aka Chief Omobawale, Communication Queen. Keep watching Vop TV.
Hi, I'm Samantha Jacobs, representing the States. Miami's in the house, and I want to make a shout out to Vop TV. I'm a humanitarian, and I'm also a rep in the film industry and the art industry. I help dreams come true, and I help you keep on that path. Shout out to Vop TV because you're helping people stay on their path too. Cheers.
All right, my name is John Odibo. Keep watching Voice of the People because it's a fantastic station to be with all the time. Thank you very much.
My name is Pastor Elvis Siro, the convener of the Voice Achievers Award, and keep watching VOP. Yes, that is the channel for all the people. No color, no race. Thank you so much.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, this is Abbas Sunkan from the Netherlands. I am a designer and I'm here in Eco Hotel and Suits. Keep watching VOP, the voice of the people. Don't touch that dial.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
100 billion naira government bonds. In sports news, Ajunwa says poor welfare driving Nigerian athletes abroad. In entertainment news, Rwanda police rebukes Nigerian content creator over road safety bridge. Now the news in detail. Catholic bishops have urged the federal government to urgently halt the nation's worsening insecurity and put in place the right measures to guarantee credible elections in 2027 and avert the crisis of political apathy and legitimacy. Presenting the positions at the opening of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBCN 2026 first plenary meeting in Abuja on Sunday, President of the Forum, Archbishop Lucius Ugoji, described the country's security situation as deeply troubling, citing what they described as the sad tales of senseless massacres, mass burials, endless tears and grief. The CBCN noted that gunmen strike communities with little resistance, but are not arrested. We move on to other stories now. The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening collaboration with the Catholic Church to advance national development, peace, and social cohesion. In a goodwill message to the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria during its first plenary meeting of 2026 in Abuja on Sunday, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, described the plenary as a significant moment of reflection and pastoral direction for both the Church and the nation. A statement on X by the Special Advisor, Media and Publicity to the SGF, Yomi Odunuga, cited Akume as highlighting the Church's enduring influence on Nigeria's moral, social, and developmental landscape. He praised the Church's network of schools, hospitals, and humanitarian institutions, noting its contributions to education, healthcare, and service to the poor and vulnerable as monumental. noting that Nigeria is at a defining moment with citizens yearning for peace, justice, economic stability, and accountable leadership. The federal government reaffirmed the readiness of President Bola Tinubu's administration for constructive engagement to promote peace, interreligious harmony, youth empowerment, and inclusive development. Well, away from that report, the All Progressives Congress, APC, secured victory in the 5 of the 6 chairmanship seats contested for in the Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections, while the PDP won the remaining seat. According to the results declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Sunday, the APC won the Abuja Municipal Area Council, Abaji, Buari, Kwali, and Kuje Area Councils, while the PDP won the Gwagwalada Area Council. In Gwagwalada Area Council, the PDP candidate Mohammed Kasim was declared winner after polling 22,165 votes to defeat the APC's Yahya Shehu, who secured 17,788 votes. In Buari Area Council, Joshua Ishaku of the APC emerged winner with 18,466 votes, while Christopher Mekalangu of the APC was re-elected after polling 40,295 votes in the Abuja Municipal Area Council poll. Also in Abaji Area Council, Umar Abubakar of the APC won the chairmanship election with 15,536 votes, while in Kwali Area Council, APC candidate Nuhu Daniel polled 17,032 votes to win the chairmanship seat, just as Danjuma Shokolo of the APC also won in Kuje Area Council with 17,269 votes. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has urged the winners of Saturday's elections in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja, Kano, and Rivers States to treat their mandates as a sacred trust and serve with humility and patriotism. In a statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Nanuga, the president commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the conduct of the polls, and also congratulated the winners. The elections covered chairmanship and councillorship positions across the FCT's 6 area councils, by-elections in 2 state constituencies in each of Rivers and Kano states. According to results declared by INEC, the All Progressives Congress won both assembly by-elections as well as other elections. Still on the Saturday elections, Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun has commended the performance of the All Progressives Congress APC in the Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections, describing the party's strong performance as an endorsement of President Bola Tinubu's policies and style of government. Abiodun said in a statement that the party's strong showing represented wide acceptance by Nigerians. He congratulated President Tinubu and the APC chairman, Professor Netamwaye Yilwata, as well as the APC candidates in the elections, stating that the party's performance is a precursor to its impending victory in the 2027 general elections. According to Abiodun, the outcome of the FCT area council polls shows clearly that Nigerians are fully aligned with Tinubu and the APC, as the vast majority of citizens know that the APC at the helm of affairs, Nigeria's future is in safe hands. End of quote. In the meantime, the National Assembly has described the Electoral Act 2026 as a major overhaul designed to enhance transparency, strengthen electoral integrity, and deepen democratic governance in Nigeria ahead of the 2027 general elections, unveiling what he called far-reaching reforms in law. Leader of the Senate, Okpayemi Bamidele, said they included the establishment of a dedicated fund for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and mandatory electronic transmission of election results. He listed the others as the compulsory use of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for voter accreditation, and the requirement for political parties to maintain a digital membership register for the conduct of primaries, among others. In a statement by his Directorate of Media and Public Affairs, Bamidele explained that the president signed the bill into law within 24 hours of his passage to avert a possible constitutional crisis in the build-up to the 2027 general elections, irrespective of the concerns raised by some civil society groups over the speed of assent. Turning away from that story now, the University of Abuja, Abuja, has approved the expulsion of 28 students and revoked the certificates of 15 former students over various misconducts. However, the institution said 9 students were exonerated after investigations, while 33 others received warnings for various infractions, including conspiracy, hostile racketeering, and fighting. A statement by the Abuja Acting Director of Information and University Relations, Dr. Habib Yakub, explained that the expelled students were found guilty of offenses including assault and examination malpractice. It listed others as conspiracy, burglary, theft, cult-related activities, drug possession and use, falsification of admission results, and repeated failure to appear before the disciplinary committee. Yakub disclosed that the decision was taken at the institution's 191st regular meeting of the Senate following the consideration of the report and recommendations of the Students' Disciplinary Committee. Meanwhile, the Vice Chancellor and Chairman of Senate, Hakeem Fahmi, said the institution would continue to maintain a safe and conducive learning environment. Over now to Oyo, where the state government has dismissed as unfounded and misleading the reported kidnaps at the College of Nursing campus in Kishi, regretting the panic that it created among students, staff, and residents. Refuting the report, the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Olusegun Olayiwola, told parents and the public that no kidnap occurred and assured of the government's commitment to the safety of all educational institutions in the state. Olayiwola urged the masterminds of the report to desist immediately, warning that spreading false information online constitutes cybercrime. Also, the provost of the College of Nursing, Dr. Bonjubola Owolabi, confirmed that no such incident took place, adding that internal verification with a security personnel had cleared the campus of any threat. Health matters now. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has confirmed 70 deaths from Lassa fever in the first 7 weeks of the 2026, with 318 cases out of 1,469 suspected infections reported nationwide. Its epidemiological report for the period covering December 29, 2025 to February 15, 2026 showed a case fatality rate of 22%, with 15 healthcare workers also infected. Updating newsmen on the issue, the NCDC Director General, Dr. Jide Idris, said the outbreak remained geographically concentrated, with 5 states accounting for 91% of confirmed cases and 10 council areas contributed 68% of infections. According to Idris, Lassa fever remains endemic in Nigeria and typically peaks during the dry season between November and May. However, there was no cause for panic, he said, as early diagnosis and prompt treatment significantly improve survival. Meanwhile, Idris said the incident management system has been activated to coordinate national response, while national rapid response teams have been deployed to the 8 affected states, with further deployments planned as required. Well, joining us virtually to analyze these stories is public affairs analyst Ismail Ogunshola. Ismail, it's a pleasure to have you join us. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you for having me tonight. Good evening.
You're welcome. So, Catholic bishops have urged the federal government to urgently halt the nation's worsening insecurity and put in place the right measures to guarantee credible elections in 2027 and also avert the crisis of political apathy and legitimacy. Do you think this would make any difference? Do you think the federal government actually will receive this kind of advice from the clergymen?
Yeah, I mean, we heard of this every time, but the problem is that several groups come to advise the president, advise the governors, they should do this, they should do that. But at the end of the day, that's where it all stops. It stops at the level of advice. It doesn't translate to any meaningful development in our nation or in our state. So it's all what we've always been here to. And we are not expecting this to solve any issue or to change anything in our country.
Yeah, but apart from what the clergymen have said, what do you see? What do you foresee come 2027? Do you see a reduced rate of insecurity? Do you see a militarized poll? I'm talking about, lots of security operatives being deployed to polling units. What do you foresee ahead 2027 along these lines?
In a bourgeoisie democracy, whatever violence you see is the violence orchestrated by the state. And it's more so that this violence is how they come into power. They come into power at the back of violence. So you don't expect them to now do away with their most potent tool. No, you don't expect that, 2027 election, there won't be violence or insecurity will stop anywhere, because most of it is being sponsored by the state. So they can't stop it. So there's no political way to stop all of that. So anybody that thinks anything will change about security in Nigeria, they are under an illusion. It doesn't work that way.
You just made a huge allegation that most of the insecurity we see is sponsored by the state. How did you arrive at that conclusion?
Well, if you look at the body language of this government, their unwillingness to solve the most basic of insecurity, you come to that conclusion. If you also look at the yearly budget, security budget, to the Nigerian army, every year, their budget is even times 2 what we have for the education sector, for the health sector. But then the more budget they are getting, the less security we are having in this country. And if you look at all this put together, you come to that same conclusion as I am. We also look at our elections, and you see that election in and election out, talks are always at unit, snatching ballots, baiting voters. And government does nothing to combat that. You come to that conclusion that they are sponsoring them. So with all this, every single Nigerian will know that they are as much as political actors as the state.
Ismail, there's something you said I wanted for us to clarify. The last budget that was passed by the National Assembly, guess the department or the ministry that carted away the highest amount? It was the Ministry of Defense. They had the highest amounts of money. This is the first time ever. Based on what you said, I just wanted to point that out, based on what you said earlier on. But you seem to think that will not make any difference, right?
It doesn't make any difference.
All right.
If anything at all, what we'll have is more insecurity, because now they have more money to, buy arms for their thugs and for their terrorist partners.
We do hope that things get better, really, in that department, because where there is no security, apparently there is no peace. But can we quickly take a look at this other story? The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthen collaboration with the Catholic Church to advance national development, peace, and social cohesion. So let's talk about the roles of religious leaders and traditional leaders in nation building. How far so far? Do you think they've been living up to their billing? And do you see this collaboration, this one now that the federal government is proposing, do you see it bearing much fruit? So these are two questions in one.
When you say that, have they lived up to their billing? I don't think nation building is one of their purpose. Religious leaders, majorly, if they are doing the right thing, is majorly about salvation, gospel, how to take people to heaven, majorly. Secondly is the...
I think I'm going to disagree with you there. I'm going to disagree with you there. How about before you get to
don't
heaven?
Disagree yet?
Yes, no, but before you get to heaven, how about now that we are in this world, right? They also contribute to the day-to-day activities and affairs of their congregants. Wouldn't you agree?
I do not agree. If anything at all, one of the major reasons why we are so underdeveloped is credited to these religious leaders, because they have made so much money at the back of making their congregation docile, right? So when you go to their churches, when you go to their mosques, what they preach is that you pray for the nation, pray for your leaders. They don't teach you to resist oppression. They don't teach you to resist bad governance. You must continue praying for these people. Even when these leaders are killing you, continue praying for them, right? So this is what they teach.
You asked,
and
right?
If you look at it,
Can I say no?
Contributing to the underdevelopment.
Ismail, can I come in here? I disagree. There are a number of cases where we've had clergymen tell their congregants to go vote out bad governance to ensure that righteous people are installed as leaders. Now, the part where you say that they thrive on the congregants' docility, maybe we shouldn't generalize, right? Can we say some of them and not all of them? I just wanted to point that out. You can go on with the rest of
them. If the sum of them is the majority, it is not far-fetched to have that conclusion that religion in totality is a menace and is a tool of oppression. And if you also look at it historically, this is what religion has been doing to Africa right from time. It came at the back of violence as well. It came at the back of imperialism as well. So it is also historical. It is not just my own position now. Everybody knows this. So I'm saying this to say that we don't expect any form of nation building from these clergymen, because this is not why they are operating what they are operating.
All right, so before we let that matter lie, you said religion came on the back of violence. But have there been any benefits of religion, like school, free medical services, free education in the past, where you had, religious institutions and people could go to school free of charge, hospitals where people could go and be treated free of charge? That is historical. I'm waiting with bated breath to see if you're going to denounce that as well. Is that one of the positives of religion?
Number one, I'm irreligious, so I actually don't have any bias to.
But it's a yes or no answer.
But what I'm saying is that even look at the schools they've built. They built most of the most expensive schools in this country, right? Schools that even their congregation members can't attend.
I'm talking about history. I'm talking about history,
right?
Ismail, history. I'm talking about historically, where you have Methodist schools and all, Catholic schools where children go for free. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Protestant schools and all of that.
Yeah, you look at it holistically. These schools, when they came, what were they teaching? There were also schools where, before you attend, you change your name to Christian's name. They un-Africanize you to even attend these schools, right? You must be a Christian to attend these schools. So you must drop your traditional belief, traditional religion, and accept theirs before you can even attend all these schools. So this is why I said all of these things, they came at the back of imperialism. They are bringing something to you. And for you to take this, you must give them back something. This is how you give them your name. They give you a new name, give you a new religion. And this is where our underdevelopment as in African continent started, right? So you have to look at it holistically.
All right. These allegations you just made about people having to, give up their names and get new names to go to schools is an allegation. I've not heard of that, and who knows if it's if they did it willingly or not. But for us not to drag this too much, I'd like for us to talk about this other story that's on the front burner, right? President Bola Tinubu has urged the winners of Saturday's elections in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja, Kano, and Rivers states to treat their mandates as a sacred trust and serve with humility and patriotism. But let's talk about the outcome of the elections first. I mean, for example, in the Federal Capital Territory, out of 6, APC had 5 and the PDP had 1. It looks like your party didn't get any. It looks like the ADC didn't get any. But we've heard the president congratulate the winners. We've heard the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, said it was free and fair, the polls, that it was credible. But we've seen election observers like Yaga Africa said there was voter apathy, and they also decried the way things were done because election materials did not arrive on time. So holistically, what do you say, the conduct of the election? Is it 100%, 50%, 10%? How would you score it?
I mean, my party is AAC, African Action Congress, not ADC. And indeed, we did participate.
No, I said the ADC. No, I don't know of your party, but I also said the ADC didn't have any, didn't go home with any of the seats. Your party didn't. The ADC didn't. The ADC is also an opposition party, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. So, going back to your question earlier, I mean, if you look at the election, because of course we participated in the election, and we do have our party members, our agents across the polling units where we have candidates representing our party, and we're getting live updates and live reports, and even after the elections we got our reports, and from what we gathered, that was a sham of election, and all the results that came in, they were results of a sham election. And as a matter of fact, our party have also released a statement condemning that election in totality. And, that's our position. So whatever the president is saying, because he knows that the outcome of the election favors him, because this is what they want. They want to turn our country to a one-party state. And, we must all resist this. Because if you look at the election, from the reports that we got and the one that we put out, there were gross misconduct from vote buying. We are not even talking about the voter apathy at all, but for the low turnout, so people were grossly buying votes. PDP, APC, they were buying votes across the municipal, and this should not be happening in a so-called democracy, because if people are buying votes, it then means that the outcome is not the proper representation of the people's desire. It was bought. And this is what happened across Abuja on Saturday. And this is the reason why we say this is a sham election.
Well, you said it was bought, but listen to what Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun is saying. He has commended the All Progressives Congress for, their win-win in the FCT, in Kano, and in Rivers. And he's saying that this is a reflection of how it's going to pan out in 2027. So, are you now saying that it's going to be bought in 2027? Because you said this last one was bought. That by saying this is what's going to play out in 2027. So, is this a reflection of how it's going to be next year, really?
Yeah, of course. This is what will happen in 2027. And this is why we've started crying to Nigerian people as early as now. Because they will say all that because this is what they want. And if you also see the reason why they don't want the electoral transmission, the electoral act, it's all part of their whole agenda to sabotage the election process. And they've been doing that successfully already. They've tried in Rivers State, they tried it in Abuja, and we've all seen what the outcome. So, of course, they are prepared to rig massively in the upcoming general election 2027. And this is why we are calling on Nigerian people to make sure that we resist the APC.
Well, you mentioned the Electoral Act, right? Let's talk about that a little bit. The National Assembly has described the Electoral Act 2026 as a major overhaul designed to enhance transparency, strengthen electoral integrity, and deepen democratic governance in Nigeria ahead of the 2027 general elections. So it looks like you and the National Assembly are at polar opposites. What you're saying is totally different from what you're saying. So what do you make of their statement?
Yeah, of course. It is expected. I mean, they know what they are doing, and every right-thinking Nigeria also can see it, that this is a daylight robbery of the Nigerian people. Because in 2026, I see no reason why anybody should be against real-time transmission of electoral results. I mean, you voted already, and you are sure that people have voted for you. Why don't you want this result to be transmitted electronically, real time? If you are not planning to do anything mischievous, so I mean, it's the most reasonable thing to do. So anybody that is, looking for different excuses against this particular part of the electoral act, should be watched closely, because such person, they are dubious and they are planning to rig election massively. And the only people against this is the APC, the ruling party.
All right, Ismail, I don't know why you're saying the APC is against this, because they've come out to say that, look, what they want for Nigeria is credible and fair elections come 2027. But let's talk about opposition lawmakers. Do you think they've represented the people well enough at the national level, and of course at the state's level as well, when it comes to electoral matters as well as nation building as a whole? Opposition lawmakers, let's talk about that a little bit.
No, they have not. I mean, 80% of the opposition lawmakers who came into office through opposition parties have went ahead to join the ruling party. And even the remaining ones, they all started together. There has not been any time they've represented the people. All they've been doing is, sharing SUV while the people are crying, sharing exotic prayers in their mail when the people are crying. So anybody who is saying that the opposition legislators have represented the people well, those people are disingenuous and they are mischievous. None of them, whether the ruling legislators or the opposition legislators, has acted in the interest of the people, and that's a fact.
Yeah, so what's the hope of Nigerians then? What's the hope for Nigerians? What's the hope? Because you make it sound like it's woe, like it's going to be gloomy all the way. Is there hope for Nigeria based on what you've said?
The only hope for the people is a people revolution. The people must stand up, organize themselves to revolt against this ruling party. That's the only hope. Outside that, the future is bleak.
Wow. Well, that's the much we can take. It's safe for us to land here. Ismail, thank you so much for always honoring our invitation whenever we call. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. We've been speaking with Ismail Ogunshola. He is a politician, an activist, as well as a public affairs analyst. You're watching News Hour on Vop TV. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We take you straight to Abia now, where the state government has set up a help desk to sensitize the Aba business community on the recently signed federal tax laws. Domiciled at the Greater Aba Development Authority, the tax desk is aimed at educating the business community on the requirements of the new tax laws in order to avoid breaches that may affect their businesses. Speaking at a government workshop in partnership with the Aba Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, GADA Director General Uche Ukeje explained that the tax desk would educate the business community on how to file tax returns appropriately, timely, and in line with the laws. He disclosed that most members of the business community did not have the details of the tax laws and how it could affect their businesses. He explained that the tax desk would enlighten the Aba business community to enable them understand the changing business and landscape brought about by the new tax laws. Well, from Abia, we move to Edo, where the State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development has held a forum in Benin City with traditional rulers, religious leaders, and women's groups to discuss health and rehabilitation programs for marginalized women. Our correspondent, Rhoda Johnny, reports.
The State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development held a town hall roundtable in Benin City aimed at restoring the dignity of forgotten women in the state. The event brought together traditional rulers, ministry officials, religious leaders, and women leaders to discuss health initiatives and rehabilitation programs for marginalized women. The Commissioner for Women Affairs delivered a keynote address and led an interactive session, allowing participants to ask questions and share insights.
I'm here to talk about the forgotten women of Edo State. These are the women in our rural corners, those living with disabilities, the elderly, and those displaced by circumstance for too long. They have lived in the shadows of our progress, but today we turn the light towards them. The project we flag up today, restoring the dignity of the forgotten women, is more than just a 2-year plan. It is a moral contract. Through this collaboration between the ministry and the Mobile Foundation for Health, Security and Rehabilitation, we are committing to ensuring no woman suffers simply because she is out of reach, providing the tools for women to reclaim their economic and social independence, reminding every woman in Edo State that she is seen, she is valued, and she is protected by her governor.
The meeting concluded with goodwill messages from stakeholders and ministry representatives.
Our organization is not an office organization, we are mobile. It is made for the community. So we go to the community. So in going to this community, we want to make sure first and foremost, they say where there's no information, there is no power. We want to first and foremost start with informing, creating awareness of how these people can restore back that dignity. So in doing this, we're not just going to do it by saying, we want to also empower community, those, poor, underprivileged, underserved community women. We're going to train them, we're going to build their capacity, we're going to use them as a point to all other women in that community.
This program is, the Town Hall meeting is a great one. One, a new NGO is trying to introduce a project that to remember the forgotten Edo women, which according to this program is part of those women that are vulnerable. The vulnerable women different from stage to stage. The physically challenged, people living with some terminal illnesses, PLHIV, the minority group.
Brother Johnny, Vop TV News.
Still in Edo State, the police have debunked a viral video claiming that 3 men found in the Ugboha Amedokian bush were brought from northern Nigeria for kidnapping. The State Police Command described the claim as false and capable of causing panic, stressing that the men identified themselves as registered hunters. Police say investigations are ongoing to trace the source of the video. Our correspondent, Rhoda Johnny, reports.
The Rose State Police Command has dismissed a viral video claiming that 3 men found in the Ubowa bush were brought from the northern Nigeria for kidnapping, saying the men were apprehended on February 3, 2026, and told police they are registered hunters who had reported to the Ubowa division days earlier. The person who made the accusation confirmed that the men are not kidnappers, and residents in the area said they knew one of the men as a legitimate author supporting the police account.
My name is Occasion Oseve. I'm the chairman of Eastern Hunters Association. That video went there online show. That also all those Alusa when they do hunting. I know they hear their language. That's why I say whether not the people for Ugbo and take them, carry them enter bush and apologize. Not be waiting. I think not be happy for the for Facebook. Apologize. Not be me send that video to her. This thing where they put for her. Not be waiting. I talk. Not be they put for her. They not be kidnapper. They be hunter. Me no say that be kidnapper. They be hunter because I seen dog and one grass cutter went dog pieces. When my guys they beat them, I tell them say when they leave them, they be who that's it. They be hunter. I beg. When not be waiting I do, not be waiting I talk, not be they put for online. I beg. When I help him beg the DP of Ugbo. When I they ask them because they know they hear English. They speak when I ask them who bring them call here DP for Ugbo. Now so they talk. I can't hand over them for police. Now today now I can let our people know say they be hunter, they are not be kidnapper.
Yes, I say, Shaibu. Now, hunter, now, dog, they take the car, they kill meat. And they follow them buy meat. Where we are from 4 years ago back, they follow them buy meat.
We walked in now.
We walked in now. And they follow them buy meat.
Mosale Kingsley. Okay. Yeah. I'm from Ubowa, Uzobon community. Okay. I was passing by when I was like, I was called to come to Ambrosian police station to come and check some of the kidnappers they hold in that place. On my way getting there, I now met Shaibu, which is a hunter that used dog to hunt. I've known him more than 7 years. I don't know him as a kidnapper. That's what I know about Shaibu. Because I used to buy meat from him. They used to use dog to kill meat. That's how I know Shaibu.
Police warned that the video is misleading and could cause panic, adding that investigations into its origin are ongoing, while Commissioner of Police Monday Agbonika urged the public to verify information before sharing on social media and said anyone spreading false reports threatening public peace would face persecution. Rhoda Johnny, Vop TV News.
Thank you, Rhoda. On the foreign scene now, no fewer than 5 bodies of dark-skinned migrants, including 2 women, have been washed ashore in Kasr al-Kia, a coastal town 73 kilometers east of Tripoli, Libya. The bodies were found on Imamid al-Sharif shore by local residents who reported to the police station. Head of investigations at Kasr al-Kia police station, Hassan al-Gawil, said a child's body had also washed ashore but was swept back into the sea due to high waves, thereby prompting a Coast Guard search. Pictures posted online showed the bodies lying on the shore, some still in black inflatable life balls. Libya has become a key transit route for migrants fleeing conflict and poverty in Africa to Europe, with factional conflicts splitting the country since 2014. A recent United Nations report highlighted the risks that migrants face in Libya, including torture and slavery. We move to Scotland now, where the government and researchers have deleted data from a census that asked school pupils as young as 14 about their sexual experiences. Conducted in 2021 to 2022, the Health and Wellbeing Census covered half of Scotland's council areas and sparked controversy over lack of parental consent and anonymity concerns. Education Secretary Jenny Gilruth paused the survey, acknowledging that the government needed to do better in gathering pupil data. The survey asked pupils about physical and mental health, bullying and substance use, with older pupils questioned on sexual relationships, which sparked concerns over informed consent. In another development, Russia launched an attack on Ukraine's energy infrastructure overnight, targeting Kyiv Odessa, and central Ukraine with dozens of strike drones and ballistic and cruise missiles. At least one person was killed and several injured in the Saturday night attack, with damaged residential buildings and railway infrastructure. The Ukrainian military reported that Russia launched 50 missiles and 300 drones, with the main target being the energy sector. The attacks caused power outages in 6 eastern and southeastern regions, affecting hundreds of thousands of people. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky condemned the attack, saying that Moscow continues to invest in strikes more than in diplomacy. The attack comes just 2 days before the 4th anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Meanwhile, Pakistan carried out multiple overnight airstrikes on Afghanistan, with the Taliban said to have killed no fewer than 18 people, including women and children. Islamabad said the attacks targeted 7 alleged militant camps and hideouts near the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, and that they had been launched after recent suicide bombings in Pakistan. However, Afghanistan condemned the attacks, saying they targeted multiple civilian homes and a religious school. The fresh strikes came after the 2 countries agreed to a fragile ceasefire in October, following deadly cross-border clashes, though subsequent fighting had taken place. In business news, the Debt Management Office, DMO, Nigeria says it will on February 23, 2026, auction 800 billion naira in reopened federal government bonds with yields set below 20%. The bonds have coupon rates ranging from 17.95% to 19.89% and will offer semi-annual interest and bullet repayment at maturity. The auction is part of the federal government's efforts to raise funds for its budget and infrastructure development. The bonds are reopened instruments, meaning they were previously issued and are being sold at rates lower than recent highs. The DMO plans to raise 800 billion naira through the auction, with a settlement due on February 25, 2026. The bonds are eligible for pension funds and other institutional investors offering tax-exempt income. Meanwhile, Nigeria's health inflation rate surged to 30.35% in January 2026, significantly outpacing the overall inflation rate of 15.10%. The latest Consumer Price Index report from the National Bureau of Statistics has reported. The health index rose from 109.4 points in January 2025 to 142.6 points in January 2026, indicating a substantial increase in medical costs, including drugs, hospital treatment, and other health services. In contrast, the overall CPI declined to 127.4 points in January 2026 from 131.2 points in December 2025, reflecting a slowdown in the overall price rise. Experts attribute the persistent rise in health inflation to factors such as delayed policy implementation, reliance on imported pharmaceuticals, foreign exchange volatility, and structural inefficiencies in the healthcare supply chain. While in sports news, the former Olympic champion, Chioma Ajunwa, has identified poor welfare systems and lack of long-term security as key factors driving Nigerian athletes to switch allegiance or relocate abroad. Ajunwa told newsmen that athletes are forced to seek opportunities elsewhere due to harsh realities within the Nigerian sports system. She emphasized that athletes have short careers and need assurances that their sacrifices will be rewarded with stability during and after their active years. She further stressed that this trend is not a result of lack of patriotism, but rather a response to the inadequate support system in place for athletes. In football, Atletico Madrid forward Ademola Lookman has equaled a record set by Luis Suarez after scoring his team's 4-2 win over Espanyol in La Liga on Saturday. Lookman's goal was his 4th in 6 appearances for Atletico, matching Suarez's record in the 2020-2021 season. The Nigerian international scored in the 58th minute, reacting quickly to a flick from Alexander to put Atletico 3-1 ahead. Lookman has now scored in all competitions for Atletico, including in La Liga, UEFA Champions League and Copa del Rey. Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone praised Lookman's performance, saying he brings goals but can improve his overall play and defensive work. In entertainment news, Rwanda's police have cautioned Nigerian content creator Joe Bassi after he posted a video of himself sitting on a public road to highlight how clean the country's streets are. The video showed Bassi seated directly on the road while recording, thereby drawing both attention and concern from local authorities. While the police acknowledged the content's positive intent, they emphasized that the act violated road safety rules and posed a serious risk. They reminded creators and the public that occupying active roadways, even for seemingly harmless content, could endanger both the individual and other road users. The Rwanda police wrote in an official that while they appreciate the good intentions behind the clip, recording content in the roadway is unsafe and violates road safety regulations. They urged that filming be done in safe areas for everyone's safety. And it's a wrap on News Hour. Thank you so much for watching. I am Vivian Oguche.
Vop TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world.
Vop TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world.